The new OBSBOT Tail 2 is a game-changing camera for live streaming, and I'm gonna tell you why. So right now, if you look at my screen right now, I have my Sony ZV-E10 coming in via my ATEM Mini Pro through HDMI. That's the screen on the top, and the screen on the bottom here, the other screen, this is my OBSBOT Tail 2 coming in. It's set to auto exposure as well. I'm using the OBSBOT Center software to control it. The color temperature is set to match my key light at 5600 Kelvin. Other than that, the camera is set to the same color temperature. And as you can see, the two images, of course, the camera is on auto exposure, but I locked the aperture of the lens to 1.4 to be able to get a blurry background. The blurry background that you see on the Sony ZV-E10 compared to the OBSBOT Tail 2, that the background obviously is not blurry. You could see that actually, if you ask me, I think the image of the OBSBOT looks better than the Sony ZV-E10. Okay, again, the ZV-E10 has a bigger sensor, better lens. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that it's a better camera overall, but looking at what you guys are saying on screen, I mean, you tell me. But I would say actually that, in my opinion, with the basic settings that we have, I think the Tail 2 actually does look better. The auto exposure looks better, and in general the image kind of looks better. All right, I still have my Sony ZV-E10. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is this is really a good camera. I'm super impressed. This is a PTZ R. All right, we're gonna talk about the R somewhere later in this video, and it's got a lot of features including HDMI, NDI, SDI, SRT, RTMP, RTSP, UVC. Right now I have it connected using HDMI, and it does rotate the lens to do a very cool, if you want to do like some sort of vertical streaming or recording for things like TikTok or Instagram. I mean, it's just a feature-packed little webcam, good for creators, good for live events, good for so many use case scenarios. People doing streaming, sports and things like that, because it's got a built-in battery as well, which is awesome. So many cool things to talk about this camera. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Sam. You're watching our production tips and tools helping you master live streaming. By the way, this camera was sent to me by OBSBOT for the purpose of this review. However, this is not a sponsored video, and I can say whatever I want to say. So I'm gonna go ahead right now and switch to this camera, because right now I have it connected to my ATEM Mini Pro via HDMI, which is cool. And this is the image that you're getting, guys. This is the image you're getting from that connection. I also have it connected to my phone and connected to my computer at the same time. That's where I'm actually able to get this preview from the OBSBOT Center software. So as you can see, I can control it here, no problem. All right, and at the same time on my phone, if I can show you, I have the camera, so I'm able to control it, no problem. I believe that you can also control it with the remote, and we're gonna get into some other PTZ capabilities in order for you to be able to control it with maybe a joystick and things like that. Again, as I said, this camera is feature packed and it just has so many use case scenarios. And of course, let's get into it. The first thing, of course, what you get in the box, obviously I got the pre-production model. I'm not even gonna show you the box because it's probably not gonna look like yours, but what you get in the box is really just the camera and the cables. So you got two cables, USB Type-C and a little adapter. So basically, one is for charging the camera, the other one is for connecting the camera to your computer for UVC purposes, or if you want to use it as a webcam. Other than that, you obviously getting the camera and some adapters for RS-232 input and output. So basically, those are for if you want some PTZ joystick controllers will actually use those. But other than that, guys, that's it. That's pretty much everything you get in the box. Really super straightforward. Now, when it comes to the key features, guys, this camera is like combines both the creator type webcam and the PTZ type webcam. Now, personally, I have reviewed a lot of PTZ, and I will tell you that this is really a good deal. This is a very good camera. It's got the value, it's got the image quality, it's got everything that you would want to get from a PTZ camera. It actually does perform better than some expensive PTZ cameras that I've reviewed that will cost anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000. I still believe the image quality that you're getting from this tiny sensor, by the way, it's 1/1.5 inch sensor, it's just amazing. All right, now OBSBOT is known for being able to use AI to be able to process their image. And even like when you use their smaller webcams like this one or the Meet 2, you can see that the way the image is being processed, even though the sensor is very small, there's a way they process their image and it makes it look good either in low light, or if you have good lighting is even better. Obviously low light is going to suffer a little bit, but it performs way better than most cameras with small sensors. So key features, obviously you're gonna love it. Starting from connections, you got UVC or kind of USB to be able to connect it as a webcam. You got HDMI, full size HDMI, that's how I'm using it right now, connected to my A10 Mini Pro. And by the way, you can output from that, you can output up to 4K 60 frames per second, which is amazing. You got SD card slot to be able to use an SD card for recording with a lot of settings that you can choose from, recording from 720p to full HD, different frame rates and things like that, and 60 frames per second, 4K or 30, whatever you want. You got it. Okay, you got a microphone in, you got line in jack, you got Ethernet with PoE, which means you can power this camera using just an Ethernet cable. You got NDI support. Obviously you're gonna need to buy a license. You got RS-232 input and output. So basically this is a protocol that you can use if you want to use it to be able to control it with the joystick. If you familiar with PTZ cameras, this is gonna sound familiar with protocols like Visca and Pelco D and Pelco P. All right, it's got built-in battery and that's gonna last you about 343 minutes. So I did some math, it's about between 4 hours, 4 point something. And again, that's when you're recording in full HD. That's what OBSBOT says on their website. So this may not be accurate. Depending on how you're using the camera, you may get more or you may get less. All right, let's say on average between 3 to 4 hours maybe. But other than that, some other cool features, you have NDI, we just mentioned it, but you also have SRT. Guys, SRT is amazing. NDI, both NDI and SRT are actually amazing protocols, especially if you're doing event. These are going to be super useful. You got RTMP, you can stream directly from the camera to platforms like YouTube and Facebook, and even custom RTMP, which is good. And you got UVC, already talked about it, being able to connect it to your computer and use it as a webcam. And you got HDMI again and SDI, which is really cool. So when it comes to controlling the camera, you have one, you can use your phone with the OBSBOT Start application, which is available on both iPhone and Android. You also have OBSBOT Center, which is this one that you're looking at right now on my computer. Now, the good thing about this one, as you can see, you have so many features, guys, including controlling your gimbal, setting up some presets. By the way, we didn't talk about the zooming, so you can actually do the zooming. So it's got optical zoom up to 5 times, which is really good. But also it's got optical, both optical and digital zoom. So if you combine both, I think it gives you up to 12 times. Again, because it has a 4K sensor, you can still use that digital zoom, no problem. You can control things like autofocus in here, your gimbal. You can have some presets, which is really good. You can control the image, the way it looks, the speed, the white balance, exposure in general. And then you have more here where you can actually set up things like UVC, NDI, RTSP mode, media settings. You can choose for your encoder if you want to use H.264 or H.265. H.265 is amazing when you're using SRT. Your resolution here, you can control it. Your bit rate, you can control it. For everything, guys, everything is in here. I'm not gonna go through everything, but your gesture, again, we're talking about us, but you still have the tracking thing, your tracking speed, everything can be controlled in here. So yeah, some other stuff like virtual camera, you still have a virtual camera available, but also if you go here, you can even use the beauty features. All right, I have a video that I made about the beauty features. Again, you can see the image already looks good. Even if I go full screen, guys, you can see like it looks really good, even the darkest parts of the image. But if I go to filter, let's say go to main, this is something that I did before, but yeah, you can actually tweak some stuff here, right? So you can see that you can tweak some stuff here and actually make yourself look even better, so like with the beauty features, guys, wow, there's so many things you can do, and that's gonna change your image completely, make it look even better. All right, so that's that. But on the phone, I can show you little quick here. So many cool things. Again, I'm not gonna go through everything, but you can still control the exposure. This is gonna be useful, especially if you are outside. Again, you can connect the phone to the camera using either Wi-Fi or cellular, and then you have things like, you know, tracking, when you can put yourself kind of set up an area to track things like that. Again, I'm not gonna go through everything, but everything kind of touch screen. Obviously, you can set up your position and things like that. You can start recording and stop recording, and like right now, as you can see, I just triggered a recording via to the camera. Right, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop it. There's no need. You can also, another cool thing, another feature that I didn't talk about, I didn't show you, if you press this little button here, the camera is going to rotate, giving you, basically just rotating the lens. The camera is not being rotated physically, it's just the lens inside. And then if I show you guys here on Streamlabs I'm using to record, you can see, and this is going through my ATEM Mini, by the way, guys, you can see that the image just rotated and became like a TikTok style kind of thing. This is amazing. This is really, really cool. And this is why I say that this camera is perfect for creators, but also perfect for other use case scenarios like events. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that as well. But I'm planning on making many more videos covering some key features, you know, how to set up things like SRT, NDI, those good stuff, because I cannot condense everything in one video. So when it comes to pricing right now, it's actually on OBSBOT website is priced about, you know, $1,200 US dollars, which is compared to everything that you're getting. I believe that this is really amazing. Now, if you were a creator, just a creator, I think for $1,200 and you needed it just for like creating YouTube videos and things like that, I think there are probably other better options, including some mirrorless cameras that will do a better job in terms of, you know, giving you the flexibility to use like a lens that you want and things like that. However, let's say you're a creator, but you know, you do live events as well, and or you're doing podcasting. If you're podcasting, this could be amazing because you can actually set it up to use one camera kind of thing and be able to capture multiple angles by framing using one camera, but frame different angles, which is possible because it's a 4K sensor and you can set it up as kind of presets kind of thing. So I think that would be very, very useful if you're doing some sort of podcasting. However, if you are running a church, you have a church and you need some sort of, you know, flexibility, I think this camera would be perfect for church production. Another thing, if you're running obviously events, virtual events / in person, and you want to be able to do some sort of remote production, even if you're not doing any remote production, I think this will be perfect for events, because one, with the tracking function, being able to put it somewhere in the room and not having to be there to control it, just you can have it follow the speaker on stage and you don't have to do anything. And of course, you can still have access to it and be able to control it and set up some stuff. Being able to use SRT, if you have some remote producers working on your events, producing your events, that's even better. Or doing some things like, you know, NDI, using NDI to be able to send yourself the signal via NDI, that's even cooler. All right, so this camera for use case scenarios, guys, I think it can work for creators, it can work for church and live events, and so many other cool stuff like sports and things like that. So yeah, now my take: is the camera good? Is the camera worth it? Yes, I think the camera is amazing. I think it beats most if not all PTZ cameras that I have actually reviewed. Again, I would say maybe the zoom is not good enough 5 times for most people who need that wide range of zoom. But I don't know, maybe OBSBOT is gonna come up with the 10x and eventually come up with a 20x kind of zoom. So, but for now, I think looking at the price, looking at the image quality, I think this camera is amazing. It beats many PTZ cameras, and it is affordable. So I'll say yeah, and I like it. I really like the image. I'm a big fan of, you know, the other smaller webcams from OBSBOT anyway. So yeah, I think this is a great camera. Now, some of the cons that I would say, the only thing actually that I just noticed actually is it has a fan on the sides, and that allows the airflow and everything, which is really good because it's doing a lot of processing. However, the fan does come on, and could be loud. So if you were a creator and using it as a webcam, just make sure you're using a microphone that's not like a condenser microphone that's gonna capture the surroundings. Or yeah, so make sure you use a dynamic microphone, because it's gonna be better for you to be able to reject that noise, that fan noise. It's not very loud, but it's there. I can hear it even now. But if you're using it, it's kind of far from you, it's not too close to your, where your microphone is, I think it's fine. Just I want to make sure you are actually aware of that. Yeah, another con, I would say probably the fact that the zoom, it's only 5. If we go to the PTZ capability side of things, I think 5 times is probably not gonna be able to compete with other brands who are doing other PTZ camera brands, because those are kind of starting from 20x, 30x. Like 20x, I would say, is like the standard when it comes to PTZ cameras. 20 to 30, basically. Yeah, that's the standard. Some do have 5 and 10, but like, I would say 10 is even like, because most people who are using PTZ cameras, they want to be able to run it from kind of far away in the room. You can see it just zoomed in and it actually looks cool. So other than that, I think it's just an amazing camera. I think I don't have many bad things to say. Even now, it's like I'm trying to look for something bad about it and I can't find many. So I would say, like I say every day, if this is your camera, you know it. If you need it, you know it's for you. There's no reason to say that it's too expensive. If you feel like it's too expensive, chances are it's because you probably don't need it. Okay, it's not made for you. Even if you need like half of the features that this camera is offering, you're going to appreciate it. You're going to appreciate it. If you just need a webcam, this is probably too expensive for you. Okay, but if you need things like SRT, NDI, tracking, and being able to the PTZ capabilities and be able to kind of switch from horizontal to vertical mode, just those features, I think you're gonna appreciate this camera. And the image quality is just top notch. The image quality is just good. All right, trust me when I say it's good, it is good. So many ways to record content when it comes to recording with this camera, including you can record on SD card, you can record via UVC with something like OBS, you can even record using the OBSBOT Center via UVC. So many ways, but you can even connect your microphone, like this microphone that I'm using, to the camera, to the computer, and be able to record the audio coming from this mic and the image coming from the camera. Now, if you want to do that using the OBSBOT Center, I have another video that I made using the OBSBOT Center that's gonna show you step by step on how to record your content using any OBSBOT camera, basically including the little webcams, but same concept. And of course the OBSBOT Center software. So that video is gonna be linked right here, so make sure you check it out, and let me know, guys, if you want me to make a specific video on a specific feature for this camera, and see you next time.